I'm about to show you 3 habits that separate millionaires from everyone else. And the crazy part? These aren't talents. They're not things you're born with. They're habits, which means you can learn them today. Most people think rich people are smarter. They're not. They just do 3 things differently. And once you understand what those 3 things are, you can do them too. First habit. Rich people use the 70-30 rule. Here's how it works. Of every dollar you earn, you spend 70% on living expenses. That leaves 30% for everything else. But here's where most people mess up. They spend 70% on living expenses, then they spend the remaining 30% on more living expenses. A new car, nicer clothes, a fancier apartment. Rich people do it differently. They spend 70% on living expenses. Then they split the remaining 30% in half, 15% for enjoyment and 15% for investing. So if you make $4,000 per month, $2,800 for living expenses, 70%, $300 for fun stuff, 7.5%, $300 for investing, 7.5%. That $300 per month becomes $43,200 over 10 years with compound growth. That's a down payment on a house or a full side business fund or a passive income stream. The habit isn't the math. The habit is deciding that your future is more important than your present comfort. Poor people prioritize present comfort. Rich people prioritize future possibilities. That's the difference. One decision made every month. And here's the psychological trick. Make this automatic. Set up your bank account so that 30% automatically goes to a separate account the day you get paid. Out of sight, out of mind. You can't spend money you don't see. Second habit. Rich people are obsessed with learning. Not the kind of learning that gets you a degree, the kind of learning that makes you money. Here's the difference. Poor people read for entertainment. Rich people read to build skills that make them money. Poor people watch YouTube for fun. Rich people watch YouTube to learn investing, copywriting, marketing, or sales. Poor people take jobs. Rich people become students of their industry. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages per day. Bill Gates reads 50 books per year. Elon Musk taught himself rocket science by reading. They all have one thing in common. They're obsessed with learning things that matter to their goals. Let me tell you what the average person does. They consume entertainment, Netflix, Instagram, TikTok, 4 to 6 hours per day. And it makes them worse at their job, worse at business, worse at investing. Meanwhile, a rich person spends 1 to 2 hours per day learning something that directly applies to their wealth-building goals. Over 5 years, that's 1,825 hours of focused learning. That's enough to become an expert in almost any field. The habit isn't reading books. The habit is being intentional about what you consume. Ask yourself, does this make me smarter or dumber? Does this make me richer or poorer? Does this help or hurt my goals? If it's entertainment, fine, enjoy it. But don't fool yourself into thinking it's helping you build wealth. Here's the action step. Replace 1 hour of entertainment today with 1 hour of learning something that directly applies to your wealth-building goals. That's it. 1 habit, done. Third habit. Rich people talk about money differently. Listen to how poor people talk about money. I can't afford that. Victim mentality. Money isn't everything. Rationalization. I'll start saving when I have more. Excuse. Rich people are lucky. Blame external factors. Now listen to how rich people talk about money. How can I afford that? Problem-solving mindset. Money is freedom. Reframing. I'm starting to invest today, even if it's small. Action. How did they do it? Curious, learning mindset. Here's the psychological truth. The words you use rewire your brain. When you say, I can't afford it, your brain stops looking for solutions. The conversation is over. When you say, how can I afford it, your brain goes to work. It starts finding ways. Maybe you take a side gig. Maybe you cut expenses. Maybe you negotiate. Your brain doesn't know, but it's looking. This is called linguistic framing. The language you use determines what you see as possible. Rich people have rewired their brains through years of different language. How can I make money here instead of I need a job? What assets should I buy instead of I can't afford anything? The habit is simple. Start paying attention to how you talk about money and start changing your language. Instead of I can't afford it, say how can I afford it? What would I need to do? Instead of I'll never be rich, say what would I need to learn to become rich? Instead of money doesn't matter, say money is freedom. What freedom do I want? Your brain will start working on these questions, and over time, you'll start seeing opportunities you've been blind to. The rich don't have better luck. They have better questions. And questions are just habits. You can start asking better questions today. Now here's where it gets powerful. These three habits work together. You use habit number 1, the 70-30 rule, to get the money. You use habit number 2, curiosity and learning, to know what to do with it. You use habit number 3, better language, to reprogram your brain so you actually do it. Most people have money but don't invest it because they don't know what to do with it, missing habit number 2. Most people know what to do but don't do it because they think they can't, missing habit number 3. Most people want to save but can't because their lifestyle is maxed out, missing habit number 1. But when you combine all three, you become unstoppable. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Month 1, you start the 70-30 rule. You free up $300 per month. Month 2, you start learning about investing. You watch YouTube videos, read about index funds. Month 3, you change how you talk about money. Instead of I'll never be rich, you ask what should I invest in? Month 4, you invest your first $300. Month 6, you're saving $300 per month consistently. You're learning more, you're asking better questions. Month 12, you've invested $3,600. With compound growth, it's worth $63,000. That's just $300 per month. Most people could cut $300 from lifestyle inflation alone. But the real power? That $63,000 is now generating passive income, $200 to $300 per month without you doing anything. That passive income can go straight into your next investment. Now you're compounding on top of compounding. So here's your action plan for today. Number 1, implement the 70-30 rule. If that's too aggressive, start with 80-20, but make it automatic. Number 2, replace 1 hour of entertainment with 1 hour of learning something that makes you richer. Number 3, pay attention to how you talk about money. When you catch yourself saying, I can't, ask, how can I? Do these 3 things consistently, and I promise you, your financial situation will change. Not because you got lucky, but because you developed the habits of rich people. If this video helped you, please drop a like and comment which habit you're going to start with. And subscribe so you don't miss the next video on making your first passive income stream. Because understanding these habits is the first step, taking action is the second, and compound growth is the magic.